Let's say we have a character today, and the character name is Mr. Superhero. Well, Mr. Superhero decided to do a business. He put a capital of 1 lakh rupees into this business, and after a year, he reported a profit of 25,000 rupees. Now, you can say that he made a profit of 25,000 rupees on an investment of 1 lakh rupee. Well, if we talk about ratios, ratios are nothing but relative magnitudes of two numbers or two attributes, and it will be always expressed in a fraction or a percentage form. So 25,000 rupees profit on 1 lakh rupees can be given a ratio, and let's say we want to define a hypothetical ratio, and we will name it return on superhero investment, ROSI. So what will be ROSI here? ROSI means superhero return on investment. The return is 25,000 rupees, investment is 1 lakh rupees. So the ROSI will be 25%. 25,000 divided by 1 lakh into 100 will give you percentage. In fraction it will be 1/4. In percentage it will become 25%. Now it's a hypothetical ratio, obviously. What I'm trying to explain you here, that there are certain precautions which you need to take, and before you jump to the ratio analysis chapters, let's try to understand what precautions I'm talking about. So ROSI is a good ratio. Return on superhero investment is a good ratio for even superhero or people who want to invest into the business of the superhero. Now 35% will be better, right? And 50% will be much better, more the merrier. The higher the ROSI ratio, the better it is for the business, for the investors, for the promoter and everyone, isn't it? What could be the optimal ROSI? Well, Mr. Superhero would have put this money in FD and have got just 6,000 rupees as return. But here in this business he got 25% return, which is 25,000 rupees return, and then you can see that in FD thing he would have not made a salary. Here in this business he made salary for himself, his staff, he gave back to society, and even after all those things he made 25,000 rupees. So it is certainly a good number. This ROSI of 25,000 rupees on 1 lakh rupee is good number. 25% ratio is a good number, right? But my point is, if 25% is good, obviously 35% will be better and 50% will be more better, and so on. Now the point here is, this is something is a ratio, and you will find similar ratios when you will learn about ratio analysis. Now, since I am trying to highlight the precautions, let me give you few more examples. Now you have example where this time Mr. Superhero didn't decide to invest 1 lakh rupee, but decided to keep just 50,000 rupees as his investment, and he took 50,000 rupees as loan from some other party, not bank, but someone who is willing to give Mr. Superhero a loan of 50,000 rupees at an expensive rate. Let's say that rate is 20% in a year. Now he bought 50,000 rupees, he got 50,000 rupees loan. The profit in the business is going to be the same because it's exactly the same business, and the profit after all the operation and expenses will be 25,000 rupees. But in this case he has to pay an interest on that 50,000 rupees. Let's say 20% is rate of interest, and he paid 20% of 50,000 rupees is 10,000 rupees as interest. Now net profit will be 25,000 minus 10,000 rupees, which is 15,000 rupees. What will be the ROSI now? Return on superhero investment. This time ROSI will be 15,000 divided by 50,000 into 100, which is 30%. 30% is better than 25%. So can we say that since the rate of return on the investment of Mr. Superhero is 30% in the new case, this format or this structure of the company with exactly the same kind of operation and everything is better than the previous one? Well, it can be better, it cannot be better, but it is not that easy to decide just on the basis of ROSI, because what you have seen right now is just two examples. Let me give you now third example. In this example, Mr. Superhero got 90,000 rupees as loan component. When you got 90,000 rupees as loan component, what happens is to your ROSI? Now your interest component will be 18,000 rupees on 90,000. 20% of 90,000 is 18,000 rupees. Your operational profit was 25,000 rupees. Now the net profit is 7,000 rupees. 25,000 minus 18,000 comes to 7,000. Now, this time investment from Mr. Superhero is only 10,000 rupees and he is making 7,000 rupees profit. What will be the ROSI now? This time ROSI is 70%. This is wow. So from 25% to 30% and now 70%. Business is same, exactly the same kind of operational profit. Same person is running the company, the capital structure is changed. Okay, let's say that this 90% loan which he has taken, he is doing good. He is doing good for 1 year. Second year, what happens that this person couldn't do the business well. Businesses are unpredictable. I have been telling you from the very beginning of the class. So this year what happens that he couldn't generate profit. 90,000 is the loan and he has to pay the interest even this year. Now what will happen? He didn't generate any profit. And now from previous year, he has saved only 7,000 rupees. His initial capital is 10,000 rupees. And this year he didn't generate the profit. The cost of the fund, which is the interest cost, will come to 18 rupees. The firm component is only 17,000 rupees. 10,000 which he initially invested, 7,000 which he saved from previous year. However, the interest cost in the second year is 18,000 rupees. From where will he give this 18,000 rupees? Bank will become, the person who has given him loan will become worried about the business model. He may simply come and ask him to shut the shop, return his money, and he will use all the legal thing and everything because he is not able to pay the interest. Now what you have seen that in third business model, when ROSI is how much? When the ROSI is 70%, this person business is going to get shut even only in second year. Even when business environment will become favorable in third and fourth year, this person is not going to sustain here itself. The business is going to close itself, and people who have invested into looking at ROSI as 70% have lost all their capital, all their investment, because this business is going to become zero. The people who have given the debt will take away all the money, all the assets. They will just confiscate that, and they have the right to do that, right? So what you have seen that independently, if you see this one ratio, it will be not the right way to judge any company. And why I'm telling you in the beginning of this ratio analysis class is because I have seen, I have observed, I have spoken to a lot of people, and what I have seen that they look at one ratio because some of the ratios are very famous. So they look at that one ratio, and on the basis of that they make investments without even looking at the other ratios and other parameters of the company. When you are at this juncture, when your fundamental analysis class is going to get over by covering all the ratios, this is one precaution which you have to take. Like, your research should be always full research. It should not, half-cooked knowledge is always dangerous, so half-heartedly done research, just because you got to know about one ratio, any famous ratio, you cannot take a decision. The only learning which I want you to take away from this introductory video in ratio analysis class 30 is you will never ever use just one ratio to look at the health of any company. At least you will look at 3 to 4 different ratios. And yes, for that you need to know as many ratios as possible, and I'm going to teach you that also, as many which makes a lot of relevance across all the industries. Well, as a teacher, this is my moral responsibility to not only teach you things but also tell you what are the precautions you have to take. And in ratio analysis, this is one precaution you have to take. In previous classes, I have taught book value, and people started looking at only those companies which book value is higher than the market price, assuming these are undervalued companies. So I thought that it is very important that I tell you that this is not correct. Independently looking at one ratio will never give you the correct picture of that company. So before you move forward, what you need to do is you make me one promise in the comment section of this blog that you are not going to use just one ratio. You will always going to take a wholesome approach. Well, on this note, let's move to the next section of this class 30 and learn more about different kind of ratios together. Thank you.